murder, mystery, a little bit of suspense, a little bit of, well, maybe not espionage, but yeah, for post Vietnam veterans being involved in unsavory affairs after the war, an unhinged partner in crime who has a badge. This is some of the things that are available for you to see in what's a movie called Lethal Weapon. And much like the Mad Max one, this is an old one that I'm recommending. I think it was made in the 80s or there the 90s. Hard to remember. I remember the first time I saw this movie. It had me laughing a lot. I don't know. I can't remember why because I watched it. I got the complete series for this Christmas or the 2021 Christmas, and I've mostly been watching the first one, and it still holds up. I would argue it's very good. The main selling point for me is Mel Gibson. Mel motherfucking Gibson. He sells it for me. Much like Mad Max, he does crazy very well. And that's not to say the other actor in this movie, Danny Glover, does a bad job either. He does a phenomenal job. They both together are just a fine pair in this movie. They really sell the dynamic between the two. And semi spoilers in this one to give you an idea of what happens in this movie. A woman jumps from a roof, and then it turns out she had been poisoned. And two detectives have been assigned to investigate. However, they've both just been assigned to each other as partners. And one of them, played by Mel Gibson, otherwise known as Riggs, he's kind of crazy. To give you an idea of how crazy, he once tried to talk a guy from jumping off a roof while they prepared this thing that would kind of catch him if he fell. So Riggs gets annoyed when this guy says, "Screw you, I'm jumping." Then he goes, "Do you want to? Do you really want to? Because that's fine with me. Let's do it, asshole. Right here, right now." And and he knows that little thing to catch him is at the bottom. But yeah, he was really unhinged. And when Murtaugh, the guy Danny Glover plays, confronts him, he's like, "Answer the question. Do you want to die? Oh, what do you want to hear, man? That sometimes I think about eating a bullet? Yeah? Well, I do. I even got a special one for the occasion with a hollow point. Look. Make sure it blows the back of my crom damn head out to do the job right." And then he kind of thinks he's bullshitting him, so he gives him his revolver and says, "Take my gun, hotshot, and do it." He puts the gun in his mouth, and Glover can see. He's like, "Oh my god, he's actually crazy." And he puts his, I think it's called the wing, like the webbing between your thumb and your pointing finger. He puts that, I think, between the hammer of the revolver before it can go in. And he's like, "You're not trying to draw a psycho picture. You really are crazy." And Mel sells it. He sells it, not no holds bar. I genuinely like that about this movie and even after the film and the other ones to follow, he still sells me on the whole being partially crazy. And when you don't have that, you have Danny Glover's character Murtaugh. He's having to put up with the fact that he's just getting older, and he's you kind of see these little scenes he sees his hand shaking at the shooting range, then he makes it stop, and then he kind of calms down a little. I kind of feel that. I'm not gonna lie. As someone who's entering their 30s, I kind of feel that because I dread the day of when I am growing old. I feel for him on that because we don't want to get old. No one wants to die, but unfortunately, shit happens. Because God likes fucking with people, I'm assuming. Anyway. Actually, no, probably not, but anyway. On top of that, you have these two working together. Both have issues to deal with. And they gradually get to where they can get along. And they have this funny banter. There's this one scene at the shooting range you really should watch. Because it's funny because he, Murtaugh thinks he's outshowed him because he got one in the head. And Riggs is like, "Yeah, stand back, old man." And he shoots a smiley face and two eyes into the target. And he has it at a longer distance than Murtaugh had. It's like a pissing match. And, yeah, I like it. This movie's awesome. I'm kind of sad. And also, I think I remember hearing last year from Mad Mike, not a full year ago, but maybe a few months back. I remember not a YouTuber, Mad Mike. He did a video talking about how they had the director of the Lethal Weapons films. He died, but he had his friend Mel Wait, did I say Mel? In case I did, the director of these movies, he died, but he had his buddy Mel Gibson, who was also apparently a competent director. I haven't seen anything he's directed yet, but he asked Mel, "Look, if I die, you have to do this for me." And Mel's basically like, "Yeah, I'll do it." And I think Danny Glover might be involved, so there's that at least. I'm anxious. I will probably wait till it comes out on DVD to see. I hope it gets made. I'm pretty sure some people are pissing and moaning about Mel Gibson being involved, but I say fuck it. Like, really, the guy made one mistake, and he said things while inebriated, I'm assuming, or high. Can't remember which. So, yeah, no, I look forward to that movie. And this one, if I had to rate it, uh, 8.3, maybe. It's fun. It has some humor in it. It has some good action. I really like how it's just two different generations of detectives. Like you have Riggs, who is the younger generation, he served in Vietnam. He's come back, and he's now a detective, and like, he's on the edge. Like you can tell throughout the movie. This is also another favorite scene of mine. There was a sniper who was shooting at kids. Riggs throws off his jacket, pulls out his pistol, goes out there, stands out in the open, and says, "Mr. Sniper, sir." The guy shoots at him. The guy misses all three shots. And he goes, "I'm still here, asshole. Or do you only do kids?" And then when the guy tries to shoot him again, Riggs unloads where he's hiding at and kills him. And then the guy who's in charge of this situation is like, "You're one psycho son of a bitch, but you're good." And it's just, again, Mel Gibson kind of makes this movie for me. Danny Glover is no slouch either. He also makes the movie for me. So just the fact of these two acting in it alone should be reason to go watch it. And I think I'll end the suggestion there. Again, it's a good movie. If you have, and again, I've been watching some older movies as of late, so I'm going to be recommending more than a few, more than likely. But yeah, give it. If you have not watched this movie, give it a shot. If you're not a fan of Mel Gibson, well, actually, if you're not a fan, you can put aside your hatred of him. You might like it. You never know. Like, you have to give it a chance. I'm not saying you have to buy it or anything. Do whatever you want. Or if you are a fan of Mel Gibson and Danny Glover and you haven't watched this already, I'm about to say, the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously. Like, it is, I wouldn't say the shit, but it's good. It's very good. I've enjoyed it the 3 times I've watched it since getting it. And, yeah, try it. Anyway, have a nice day, and remember the game was rigged from the start.